Welcome to another edition of the Balking Dead. And I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets, and this show is still sponsored by Prize Picks. So if you haven't already, go on over there and use promo code Pub Sports. Your first your first match deposit with our promo code, you will get $100. So do us a favor, do you a favor, and use that promo code. And if you already used it, go use it in your chick's name. Just do us a little big favor. Come on. Quick little recap yesterday, guys. We didn't give out no K props. Wasn't a day technically. I'm an over better, and I looked at that card and wanted to puke, and stayed off of it personally. And then we took a couple hitting props. We took 2 in the Braves game. We went 2-0 in the Braves game with Ozuna and Riley. Then we went 0 for 2 in the Dodgers game with Freeman sucking dick under a bridge for milk money, being lactose intolerant. So pretty much a wash yesterday, betting props. Prize Picks went 2-1. I mean 1-2. Went ass backwards because Gilbert decided to give up 4 runs in an inning and fucked his fantasy score. Even though I expected him to get the win and the quality start, which he got, him giving up 4 runs definitely was detrimental to the fantasy score. But we were right on Cronenworth, but I was wrong on Cronenworth. I took him under 7.5 fantasy score. I may have called him some bad names. I may have said something bad about his mother, too. I don't really remember. Shit can come flowing out my mouth. But the dude did get 2 singles yesterday. But fantasy score, that is only 6 points. And I win the under. But Cronenworth may be back, guys. He may be back. So, big fucking day today, guys. I'm liking a lot of spots. Things are fucking starting to gurgle in my tummy. And, yeah, so shout out to you guys. Smash the fucking like if you haven't. Hit the share, hit the retweet. If you're in Twitter world, this video will end very shortly. So hit that link and come join the chat, guys. And if you don't know, you should know. The chat be giving out some fucking plays, too, that win. So let's get to it. My guy, Tom Miggins, the motherfucking play of the day, the levels play of the day, been fucking on a heater lately, y'all. Y'all better watch the fuck out. What's it today? But yeah, shout out to you guys. I see you. Trailer Park, my guy, he been on it on Twitter. He new to us in the chat. Been here every day since though, and I appreciate it. Let's get to the first game on the board. Marlins and Nationals. Trevor Rogers versus Josiah Gray. Trevor Rogers is 3-6 with a 5.8 ERA in 14 games he has. His last 10 games, he hasn't made it past 5 innings but one time. He's been bad, guys. He has played a few back-to-backs versus some teams who do smash lefties, but still, he just hasn't been the same fucking guy as last year. This is a sophomore slump, and he just hasn't figured it out yet. He did play the Nationals 2 times this year. April 28th, going 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned runs, and 4 Ks. In June 9th, 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs with 5 Ks. In the past 7 games, this is the only game where he's given up 3 earned runs or less versus these Washington Nationals, guys. So he's had 2 good games versus them this year. But out of last year, 4 games versus the Nats, he didn't go past 5.1 innings with a 3.26 ERA, and he averaged about 5.5 strikeouts. So he pitched well versus this team last year, and he's pitched well versus this team this year. Can I fucking trust Trevor Rogers? I fucking can't, personally. The guy has just been a fucking roller coaster and nothing of the spitting image of a man that he was last year. He's now a scared little boy. And I can't bet on scared little boys, even though he does feel like a big boy. He wants the big kids meal when he plays the Nationals usually, but I got to stay off of him. Over the last 15 days versus lefties, the Nationals are walking 9.3% of the time. That's 2.5% more than the last time when Rogers seen the Nationals. They're striking out dead the fuck same, 17.9%, and their average is about the same too. They're 260 average, and their OPS jumps up 50 points to a 768. They're just middle of the pack average OPS, guys. So nothing really home to write home about. Their ISO is a 182, so they are scoring some runs. But at the end of the day, this team hits lefties better than they do righties, and they've had a problem hitting Rogers all year. So is today the day they get to him? He's had 2 good games, so I'd say, yeah, the regression is going to come from Rogers. He hasn't been that good this year. He's had 2 good games versus them already, so I expect a him to get hit this time. His K prop is 5+ at -102. They're giving you a 4 on Prize Picks at a -157, and his fantasy score is at a 20.5. All that says they know this guy doesn't go past 5 innings, guys. So that fantasy score is low. He's pitched well versus them in the past, so it says if you want to take it, go ahead. I just can't trust this guy personally. On the other hand, Josiah Gray. There was a time where I couldn't trust Josiah Gray, and last year, guys, he was fucking dog shit, and I was laughing. Ha, 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 Dodgers got the better end of the trade here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We ended up getting fucking Scherzer and Trey Turner. I'm stoked, don't get me wrong, but we did give up Kipper Ruiz, who was one of the top catching prospects in all of baseball. He would have never seen the field in Dodger blue. Barnes and Will Smith ain't going nowhere. And we gave up Josiah Gray, who was one of our top pitching prospects at the time. Josiah Gray last year just was having problems getting his feet wet and was getting hit left and fucking right. At the end of the day, this guy couldn't get through a game. Then we fast forward to this year. 6-4 with a 3.82 ERA in 14 games. He does have a home 5.91 ERA, and he has at home today and a road of a 2.01. He has a K per 9 at home of 10.3 and on the road of 9.45. So he averages a strikeout better per 9 at home. Well, no shit, you're going to average a strikeout more. If you got base runners on, you gotta strike them out or else they're going to fucking type score shit. So, this guy likes to play with fire at home at the end of the day. So let's get into these numbers. He has been hot all June with a 1.13 ERA in the month of June. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in 5 straight games. He played the Marlins 3 fucking times already this year. 3. Jesus motherfucking Christ. Let's get into that. April 26th, 5.2 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned with 10 strikeouts. May 18th, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs with 7 strikeouts. And then June 8th, 5 innings, 6 hits, 0 earned runs with 6 strikeouts. This guy has 6 strikeouts or more in 3 straight games versus this team. He hasn't seen this team in over 3 weeks. My rule is 15 days. You've seen enough pitchers to then not be worried about it. So let's get into these numbers. I'm going to compare the last time they played, which is June 8th, the last time Josiah Gray pitched up versus these Marlins. They are now only walking 6% when they were walking 9%. They were only striking out 20.8% of the time to now they're striking out 24.5% of the time. The average was at 272. They have dropped to a 239, and their OPS back on June 8th was a 877, and it's dropped to a 648. He has shut them down every time they played him, and their numbers are as worse as he's ever got to see them. I am on Josiah Gray, over 5.5 strikeouts, -130. That's what I betted at this morning. It's 5.5 on Prize Picks. He will be on our Prize Picks plays today, and his fantasy scores at 30.5. No run first inning is at a straight even money. Both bullpens suck dick under a bridge. Marlins pin over the last 30 days, 27th with a 5.46 ERA, and the Nationals pin is 26th with a 4.98. Talked about this shit 2 days ago, guys, and I told you then that if he didn't get a fucking hit, that we were going to be on him today. So I will be on and betting, and already have, and it's the lowest I've ever fucking seen a stolen base prop, guys. Plus 200? That means they fucking know he's stealing a base, guys, and I've never bet it this low, but I did put it in already. Shout out to fucking Real Deal Prime. Happy fucking Canada Day to all these Canadian fellas in the chat. There's a bunch of y'all, and I appreciate you guys a lot. So it's your fucking day today. Let Barrios go out and fucking shine, and let the Blue Jays roll. Have a good day, my guys. So let's get to it. Josiah Gray. We were back on the Nationals pin. So both pins, guys, are 26 and 27. Nothing to write home about. If you want to look at hitting props, go ahead. I expect both these guys to get hit, and if not, you can look at the bullpens. I do expect Trevor Rogers to get hit harder than I expect Josiah Gray, but Josiah Gray has shown he sucks balls at home ERA-wise, and that means he's going to give up hits and runs. Is what it is. That's what happens when you're in that ballpark of Washington. So, I'm going to be on John Birdie. Told you guys last 2 days ago, this guy, I was waiting for the next day to play him. His stolen base is at plus 200. Versus lefties and righties, his on base percentage is 370 to a 378. So it doesn't really fucking change. He gets on almost 4 out of 10 at bats. Well, this guy hasn't gotten on base for 2 games now. He hasn't gotten on base, but this will be the 3rd time since May 1st that he's gone 2 games without a hit. And then the 3rd game, he then gets a hit. We are on the 3rd game. We are going to play the numbers games. I expect this guy to be on base today, whether it's a single or a double. Doesn't matter. Hopefully it's a double because second's the easiest bag to steal. But with John Birdie, it really doesn't matter if he's on first or second. This guy has 18 stolen bases in the month of June with only being caught stolen once. So, John Birdie, get on base, do your fucking job, and let's keep this show rolling with stolen base props because they've been really good to us. I wait for situations like this, and I look for stolen base people, and today we got that spot. So, yeah, definitely expect him to get on base. And if he gets on base, the little engine that could will be couldn't. So, what up with the chat? Smash the fucking like if you haven't. I see the crew already rolling in. The chat is getting deep. 32 live, 19 likes. We need at least 22. 22. They go this fast. I go, no, you go, no. Let's fucking make some goddamn money today, guys. Braves and Reds. Max Fried at Mike fucking Minor. This is I got this money line on a parlay last night with some Japanese baseball. It was like a 220, 230, and now it's ballooned to a 300. Do I believe this should be a minus 300? Fuck no. But yeah, they still win the game, so I guess whatever. Let's talk about it. Max Fried, 7-2 with a 2.7 ERA, and 12 of his last 13 games have been quality fucking starts. We've made a lot of money off of Max Fried, guys. He started the year versus the Reds, 5.2 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs with 5 strikeouts, and that was his worst start of the fucking year. If you've been watching this show, you know I'm the Max Fried truther, guys. We know that the month of June is when the little engine that could gets couldn't with Max Fried. So he's, over the last few years, historically gotten better as the year goes on. And once June comes and July and August and rolling into the playoffs, this is when you get the best Max Fried. And he's been nothing but money all month of June for us. So I've got to expect nothing less. The only fucking problem is he's playing in that bandbox in Cincinnati, guys, where a foul ball can be a home run on certain days, guys. So at the end of the day, he needs to keep the ball on the ground. So let's get into these numbers. I had to drop it back 24 days for Cincinnati to get at least 200 plate appearances versus a lefty, and they are walking 6.9% of the time, 23rd in the league. They're not striking out, 19.7, with 3rd average, 3rd OPS, and an isolated power of 217. They're batting 308 and an 894 OPS collectively as a team versus lefty. Okay, this ain't every fucking day lefty at the end of the day, but this does play into if you want to play as K-Prop today. Am I going to be on it? No. I'm going to stay off personally, but do I think he gets it? Yes, but I think they're putting him a little too high personally. His K-Prop is 7+ at plus 106. The 6 is at minus 143, and I can see 6, but I can really just see 5 today, guys, from him. But he is the type of guy who is going to have a situation today and striking people out. So K-Prop is 7+ plus 106. Prize picks have him at a 6 at minus 143. And his fantasy score is at a 37.5. I think there's going to be runners on today. We've got a team that's hitting 308, 894. So the question is are they on first or second? Because Max Fried is a really good fucking pitcher, guys. He is not just a fucking strikeout pitcher. He is an ace. This guy gets the pitches that he wants. He's got a runner on first. The guy's going for a fucking ground ball double play. So I've just got too much going on in my head right here. Can he hit it? Yes. I'm not an unders guy, so I don't bet unders, but sure as fuck yesterday was a hell of an unders day. I sure as fuck didn't want to bet no overs, and god damn did every under fucking cash except for Joe Musgrove, who went out and dealt, and shout out to fucking the guys that were on Musgrove yesterday, and Nilo. Same 2 names, get them fucked up. Milo with his live betting. God, dude, I wish I could live bet props, but until the day I can, I'm glad I can put money in some people's pockets while we live bet. But whew, it's so easy watching baseball and the props that they give and just looking at pitch counts, guys. Just yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's just easy. So let's get into it. I expect base runners on with Fried. It's just depending on where they're at if he gets the strikeout. Can he get you the 7 today? Yes. Can he get you the 6 today? Yes. So if you're on it, I hope it cashes. I don't see why it shouldn't. I'm just going to stay off of that one personally. Mike Minor, on the other hand, 1-4 with a 7.71 ERA in 5 games. He has given up 3 to 6 runs collectively in every fucking game this year. He has not looked good. And now he gets a Braves team who loves to smash mediocre to shithole lefties. And that is exactly what Mike Minor is, guys. So over the last 15 days, these Braves numbers are good. I had to go to 21 days. 8.7 walk percentage, 12th in the league. They are striking out 11th in the league, 23.8 versus lefties. 284 average and an 858 OPS. That's 5th average, 3rd OPS, and an isolated power of 224. And let me tell you, in these last 21 days, there were 2 games where they got shut the fuck down by a lefty. Julio Urias, Carlos Rodon. Shut those fools down, and they still have these elite numbers. That's because mediocre to shithole lefties like Mike Minor get the fuck beat out of them, guys. So, get real juiced up now. So, over the last 21 days, they've smashed Alex Wood, they've smashed Quintana, and they've smashed fucking, who else was it? I forgot the other one. I didn't write him down because I'm a pothead. But to the point of that, Alex Wood and Quintana are middle of the pack to bottom end rotation lefties. Julio Urias, Rodon are top end of the fucking rotation. That's where the fucking Braves struggle. Okay, well, they did struggle versus fucking Suarez the other day in the strikeout department. They still got to him, and Suarez isn't a strikeout pitcher. Hence the reason why they did put Mike Minor's strikeout prop at 5+ at -164, and it's 4.5 on Prize Picks, and his fantasy score is 16.5. That is the lowest fantasy score I've seen for a pitcher. Usually they don't give you shit like that, guys. At the end of the day, he might hit that. Oh man, and that's like getting 6 strikeouts, giving up 5 runs, and going fucking 5.1 innings. This fucker hits it, so that's so low, bro. And I'm not touching his over. Fuck no, am I doing that? But I can see ways where it can hit. That's so I gotta stay away. No run first inning is at a -110. Braves bullpen is 6 with a 3.09 ERA over the last 30 days. And the Reds pin is dead fucking last, 30th with a 7.03 ERA. So we got a starting pitcher with a 7.71 ERA. We've got a bullpen with a 7.03 ERA. Oh, golly. Let's talk about some hitting props. Ronald Acuna is expected to be back today. He wanted to play yesterday, and this is a team who destroys lefties, guys, at the end of the day, and the Reds have the worst bullpen. So what did I do here? I'm going to do an in-game parlay with 3 props that gives me +221, and that's how I bet it. I took Contreras just to get a hit at -205. Contreras versus lefties batting .310. Righties batting .241. His slugging goes from .619 versus lefties, which is great. .506 versus righties, which is still good. .806 OPS versus righties, which is good, to a whopping .1039 OPS versus lefties. Do you want to take his 2+ bases at +122? Don't hate that. But I'm going to just take him for the hit on this in-game parlay I'm going to do. Then I'm going to go to Austin Riley. This guy makes a living off of eating lefties. And which is weird, I'm going to get into it. Versus lefties, 289, righties, 245. His slugging, 618 versus righties at 683. And his OPS is 765 versus righties. And versus lefties, it jumps up to 1,000. The majority of his home runs come from the fucking right-handed side. Weird. But his power numbers are from the left-handed side. We are in a bandbox of a stadium. I wouldn't mind anybody hating his home run. I'm just going to play it safe here. And I'm going to take Riley over 1.5 bases at minus 130. Mike Minor is going to get destroyed today. It's pick your fucking poison, and I'm going to take Riley over 1.5 on my in-game parlay. And he was minus 130 for that. Then I'm going to take Acuna. I usually don't like playing on guys coming off of injury or the IL. That can usually be bad for you. But Acuna's now came off 2 different times in that game. He goes, boom. When he's ready to come off, he's ready to fucking come off. And he's proven it to me time and time again. So he is going to lead it off with 2+ hits, runs, RBI, hits, runs, and RBIs at a minus 201. So I've got Contreras at a hit at minus 205. Riley over 1.5 bases at minus 130, and I took Acuna 2+ hits, runs, RBIs at a minus 201, and I got plus 221 for that in-game prop parlay, and that's what I'm doing in this fucking game. You can build it however you want. You can legitimately probably put every guy for a hit in this game. The only problem is they can be pulled by the 7th inning because they're up by so many runs, and that fucking hurts. So I'm trying to take advantage, not trying to get too greedy, but as my producer would say, this is a ladder spot for people, guys. This game for these Braves bats, if you pick the right Braves bats, you're going to make some money laddering them today. So get on out there, put your fucking safety vest on, and put them ladders to the wall, guys, and make you some fucking real money today. So let's get to it. We got 2 more games still to talk about, guys. 43 live. You guys fucking rock. Smash the fucking like button if you already haven't. And we got a fucking wonderful game to talk about. God, a wonderful game to talk about. Which is weird to say. Brewers at Pirates. And shout out to my boy Nilo again yesterday. Or no, was it Tone? It was Tone I was with talking to. But I was watching that Pittsburgh Pirates game yesterday. And the Pittsburgh Pirates ran 8 left-handed batters yesterday versus Hauser. Hauser is giving up a 378 batting average to balls in play, 2 left-handed bats. That was such a fucking easy team total live over spot. Oh my God. And this is why you need the volume on when you watch games, guys. I will preach that shit. And fuck the TV. If you can somehow get the radio volume, that's even better because those guys are really digging into shit and they're going to give you information for 3 hours a game. And I'm going to give you a fucking tip, a Sharpie tip that I usually don't give out. I'm a K-prop guy. I love me fucking pitchers. Pitching is what I fucking love to bet and what I fucking make my money on. So, what does that mean? Well, I like to go back and forth between the home team's announcer when the pitcher is pitching because their job is to talk about the pitcher. The other home, if you're on the home radio and they're batting, their job is to talk about the hitter. I want all the information I can get on the pitcher. So I go back and forth in between announcers. That's my personal thing. It works for me very well, and I get information, guys. That's just wonderful. So let's get into it. We got Corbin Burnes versus Roansy Contreras. Roansy Contreras is my baby, guys. I've been preaching about this kid for a long time. And I got too stoned that I was going to actually send a picture of Roansy Contreras' face, and I was going to have Big Show crop it to Ricky Vaughn's body, guys. And if you don't know who fucking Ricky Vaughn is, you probably need to just fucking stop betting baseball, guys. He's the best pitcher to ever do it. Played for the Cleveland Indians on Major League, the movie. But for real, though, wild thing, guys. Yes, I'm joking, but it is what it is. Roansy Contreras is fucking wild thing, baby, at the end of the day. So let's talk about Corbin Burnes. 6-4 with a 2.4 ERA in 15 games. 119 strikeouts in 93 innings. He does have a ERA of 3 at home and a fucking immaculate 1.64 on the road. He does have a crazy 12.6 K per 9 at home compared to 11 K per 9 on the road. Once again, guys, his strikeouts go up at home where his ERA goes up. You got people on base, you're looking for strikeouts a lot more. That's just the way baseball works. especially with elite strikeout pitchers. So let's talk about this elite strikeout pitchers. Brave, okay. So more people on base, that's when they need a strikeout. Obviously, I just said that. I'll smack myself for repeating it. So he played Pittsburgh April 19th in Milwaukee, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs with 10 strikeouts. In 2 games last year, he went 11.1 innings, 13 hits, 4 earned runs with only 13 strikeouts. So he averages a little more than a strikeout per inning versus this team. His K prop is at 9 plus at minus 106, 8 is at a minus 164, and his fantasy score is at a 43.5. When I run these numbers up versus the April 19th numbers, they're still walking the same percent. They dropped from 26.4 striking out back in April to 21.6, which is 20th in the league. And their average is still about the same, 246 average. And their OPS jumps up to first in the motherfucking league at 817 with an ISO of 218. So these Pittsburgh Pirates have been smacking the fucking ball versus shitty fucking pitching. At the end of the day, you need to look back and see who the fuck they've been seeing, guys. So at the end of the day, elite pitchers shut them down, and shitty pitchers do get fucking hit. So they're a young team. Am I on Corbin Burnes? I still need lineups out personally before I pull the trigger on him. There's a few things I'm looking for in the lineup before I fucking shoot my bow and arrow. But if you're already on him, I don't hate it, guys. Corbin Burnes owns this team, and I expect him to dazzle. I need one thing that I have circled that if it's there, he's getting the pew. So let's talk about Wild Thing, Roansy Contreras. 2-1 with a 2.76 ERA. And the day he figures out how to command his fucking pitches will be the day we are going to fucking make a lot of money for a short period of time. And what I mean by that, guys, is his K prop is at 4.5. I expect by this time next year, his K props will be around 7.5. So he may need a year to figure out how to pitch in the big leagues. But when it happens, this guy is an elite strikeout pitcher. So he hasn't made it to the 6th inning in any start yet. In June, he's pitched 24 innings. He's given up 26 hits with 13 walks and 24 strikeouts. So averages about a strikeout per inning right now. He does have a K per 9 in the minors over the last 2 years of 12.5. And he has walked 3 per 9 over the last 2 seasons in the minors. So he's right around that walk pace already. He does have a command issues. But I do expect his strikeout numbers to go back to where he's been throughout his career over the last 3 years in the minors, and that's 12.5 per 9, guys. He throws 95 to 98. He has a plus slider, and what I mean by plus slider, that is considered an A pitch from Major League Scouts, and an A pitch is a strikeout pitch. It's graded as a nasty pitch. We'll get into Gonsolin later. He's got 2 pitches in the A plus pitches. So, woo! So the guy is a 4-pitch pitcher with a nasty wipeout slider. He's going to need to get a few calls. But at times when you're inconsistent, you don't get that calls. And last week we were on Roansy Contreras. He had 5 fucking walks and 4 strikeouts. One less walk. There was a couple fucking squeeze calls on us. I don't make excuses because, like I'm saying, if you walk 4 or 5 people, you're not getting that fucking call, bro. I can't bitch about it. If you walk someone in 4 fucking pitches, you expect to get the call next at bat, bro? Come on, dude. You can't do that. You can't walk people in 4 pitches. Can't do that. So, all right, Ronzi. So are we going to fucking play him today? Let's run it up. He did play versus this team 1 time this year, April 19th. Only going 3 innings. Giving up 1 hit, 1 earned run, and 5 strikeouts and 10 at-bats. Let's run these numbers up. He is walking 10.7, or the Brewers are walking 10.7% of the time. 2nd in the league, and that matches the dead exact number they were walking April 19th. They're striking out 24% of the time. They're at 23.8 right now. Their average does jump up from a 218 to a 256. Their OPS jumps up from a 669 to a 718. And their ISO goes from a 139 to an elite 218. So over the last few weeks, these guys are hitting the ball really, really fucking well. And that's keeping me, like, digging me in my stomach right now. Ronesy should go out there and deal and get that 5 plus at plus 108, 4.5 on price picks, and his fantasy scores at 24.5. But I do see him getting pounded for some runs too. So when you're betting a K prop and a guy's getting his butthole fucking beat in, and how long is he gonna leave him out there to dry? That's scary, guys. And I know we played him versus the Braves, and I told you the same thing. I said, guys, go play the Braves team total over and play Ronesy Contreras the strikeout prop. And I'm leaning that way right now. I haven't pulled it, but I think the Brewers team total is a good spot, and I think he still hits his strikeouts. He's got nasty elite shit, and these guys are swinging pretty fucking hard. Brewers pin 3.82, 16th in the league over the last 30 days. But with Corbin Burnes, you could throw that 3.82 out the fucking window. And you can pretty much guarantee it's going Corbin Burnes, Williams, Hader. You don't got to worry about the rest of the guys when Corbin Burnes goes. This guy is a walking 6+ innings. So, let's get to it. Pirates pinned 24th over the last 30 days with a 4.59 ERA. I know a lot of people try to say they're good and shit. That's just people looking at broad numbers. I'm pulling these numbers of the last 30 days. And over the last 30 days, they are bottom 6. No run first inning is at a minus 150. Ryan Reynolds, numbers did pop up. He is batting 286 and 15 plate appearances versus Corbin Burnes. He has 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, 3 singles, and a double, though. So, that 286 is a little, The guy's hitting for singles. Whip-de-doo. That's pretty much what you're going to get off Corbin Burnes. So, Corbin Burnes today is definitely a look. Don't hate anybody looking at it. And Ronesy Contreras is definitely a look because I think he gets it. But then again, I think he gets living dog shit pounded out of him. So that's what scares me. And that's why I haven't pulled the trigger quite yet. But we're on to the last game. And we got a good one. We're right back up to the place we ended last night in Chavez Ravine. Peter needs water? No, he don't. Shut up. You just fucking with me, Noli. Stop it. You made me laugh, though. You do shit to make me laugh. Y'all don't know about Peter. Peter's the biggest Doyer fan in the world, and that's who we're here talking about. Pirates and Dodgers, guys. Blake Snell versus the man, Tony Gonsolin. Blake Snell is 0-5 with a 5.6 ERA in 7 games. Man, this guy is hard to figure out at times. He has ace-type shit, but he's always had control issues. At the end of the day, that's been his problem. In May, he allowed 8 hits with 8 walks. That's fine. In June, though, he's allowed 24 hits and 11 walks, and now Blake Snell is looking like Blake Snell. What Blake Snell are we getting today, guys? He played the Dodgers 4 times last year, including 2 games in a 10-day period. He had a 1.90 ERA versus this team, not allowing more than 2 earned runs in any fucking game. The only time he did not hit 7 strikeouts, he ended up walking more than 2 batters. So the golden number with him right here is 2. If he walks 2 or less, he's going to hit his K prop. 7 plus at plus 112, 6 at minus 179, and his fantasy scores at 24.5. Dodgers over the last 2 weeks, 21 days, they're walking 8.1%, 17 in the league versus lefties. They're striking out second in the league, 26.3% of the time. 247 average and a 715 OPS with an isolated power of 159. They're 21st and 20th OPS. If this is a get right spot, if ever, for Blake Snell, it's versus a team that he's pitched well against and owned his whole career. And this is, if you want to go back to the Rays when he pitched in the World Series versus them, he fucking owned them too. So it went 8.1 innings of 1-hit baseball versus the Dodgers in a World Series game. He's got 4 games with a 1.9 ERA versus this team. He feels really good versus this team. This is a big spot. I expect Blake Snell to come out and shine today. His fantasy score is way too fucking low in my opinion, and that's where I'm going to attack it. 24.5. Give me that, please and thank you. Tony Gonsolin. He's 9-0 with a 1.58 ERA on 14 games. You already know we big Gonsolin backers on this motherfucking show. So If you don't watch this show often and you haven't heard us talk about Tony Gonsolin here, what's the difference of this year and last year? Well, he still throws the same pitches. He's just now throws his 3 other pitches besides his fastball equally. So he's throwing his curve, his slider, his splitter, all 12 to 13, and his all 12 to 15%. There is no what's coming. He's got 2+ pitches. This guy's got a 4-pitch arsenal with 2 nasty pitches. He is not a strikeout guy. We have played him at times in strikeout spots. Last week we played him under 2.5 earned runs because Prize Picks was dumb and gave us a free fucking taco. And he hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in 14 fucking games this year. Why the fuck were you giving us a 2.5 last week? Can we have it again, please? Oh, it wasn't there, guys. I was a little bummed. I was hoping to get it because the Padres' numbers are good. So, yeah, it is what it is. He's a ground ball pitcher, and the only bugaboo, if I can say something bad about him, is he has allowed 6 home runs in his last 9 games. So he has hung a pitch to guys that can hurt him. There are a few guys on this team that can hurt him if you hang a pitch. So Tony Gonsolin, other than a few pitches a game, has been elite. Now, the Padres then need to make him pay on the times he does hang. So, the Padres over the last 15 days walking 10.4%, third in the league. They're not striking out 25th. They're 25th in the league at a 19.2%, 261 average with a 797 OPS and an ISO of 187. They're all top 5. Granted, if you pulled it back without Machado, they did drop off drastically, but guess what? Machado was back last night, and they still didn't get a lot of hits, but they did start hitting again. Yes, Cronenworth got 2 hits again. Yes, I still cast the under. Yes, I was wrong on maybe him a little bit. Is what it is. But, yeah, don't hate it. Gonsolin's K-prop 6+ at +114. It's at 5 on Prize Picks at -205, and his fantasy scores at 34.5. Padres pin has been second in the league over the last 30 days with a 2.92 ERA, and the Dodgers pin have been 13th with a 3.55 ERA. Have I been a little hard on Craig Kimbrell? No, the guy has pissed me off a lot, but he has now had 3 straight outings with not allowing a base runner. So clean outings, guys. So he was going into before the last 3, he was only 4 out of 23 save opportunities did he have a clean outing. So it's nice to see somebody starting to lock in. And if we could scrap in the 9th inning in this would be fucking great. So I expect a well-pitched game both fucking ways right here. And 2 good bullpens to roll. Dodgers all the way, though. But don't got to bet on this game. Cider total, personally. Looking at the under, haven't bet it yet. I do know some people I respect on the under in this game. And don't hate it, guys. They're seeing what I see, and that's Blake Snell loves to pitch versus the Dodgers. So I've seen it a bunch of times. I've seen it in real life. And, yeah. Would I be surprised if he shits the bed? No, the guy has shit the bed most of the time in the month of June. But if there's a spot where he can turn it around, I expect him to turn it around. Now, so let's get into Prize Picks right quick. Shout out to you guys for hanging in there. Smash the like if you haven't. And, yeah, we are going to take Josiah Gray over 5.5 strikeouts. He has 7+ strikeouts in 3 games versus them this year. And now he's getting numbers over the last 15 days that are better than the numbers he's gone up against them so far this year. I expect a big game from Josiah Gray. So let's write it. Now we're going to talk Ronald Acuna Jr., guys. This guy, every time he comes off the IL, just fucking goes boom. He's got Cincinnati to go boom in with Mike Minor, who's given up 3 to 6 runs every start, and a bullpen with a 7+ ERA in Cincinnati. They are the road team, and we'll have all 9 at-bats today. He is the leadoff batter. He doesn't come back from injury unless he's really ready. He was ready to come back yesterday, and he will be in the lineup today. We will take him. He's going to double, steal a base, home run, easily cash this 8.5 for us. Please and thank you. And like I said about Blake Snell, I expect him to go out there and go 6 solid innings versus the Dodgers today. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs lifetime versus them in any game. And yes, he has been bad, but Dodgers haven't been hitting lefties, so I expect this to be a get-right spot for Blake Snell. So, shout out to you guys. If you haven't already, go on over to Prize Picks. If you use promo code PUBSPORTS, you will get a match deposit up to $100 just by using Pub Sports. So shout out to all who's using our fucking promo code. It really helps us. I try to help you, so do us a favor, do you a favor, and we all have a little fucking good time. So until next time, let's keep this train rolling and fuck these bookies in the eye hole. Yes! Wow thing! You're going to cash, man! You make everything groovy. All right, guys, we got to fucking play Contreras today. Let's have a blessed day, guys. Yes!